Good morning, my friends. What up? We know what time it is. Time for a cup of coffee. Beautiful early morning. The ocean's out there. A little overcast. Burning off. Going to be a great day. I asked, where's the help? So I was thinking this morning, you know, one of the challenges that many of us face, not all of us, but many of us face as we get older, is having help to do things. So the kids don't live at home anymore. Now, I'm single. I, I'm single. I live alone. And if anything happens, like, I don't know, some of you may not remember this. I'm sure you don't. But a couple of years ago, I had a hip replaced. And I was here on my deck in Mexico. This was 1 week after the surgery. I had I had a friend that I stayed with up in San Diego for a few days, but then I came home. I probably came home a little prematurely, but nevertheless, I came home. I was out here on my deck. It was a Friday night. I was out here on my deck, and my hip dislocated. So the new hip that had been put in came apart. Now, there's two things about a hip dislocating. One is it's extremely painful. On the old 0 to 10 scale, it's about a 12. And two is you're helpless, virtually helpless. It's hard to imagine how useless that leg is and how heavy it is to drag around behind you, because that's all you can do with it is drag it. It's totally non-functional. And I was alone. There wasn't a neighbor within sight. There was nobody home. No, none of my friends are around. None of my family. And I learned a lesson that day. The part of the lesson I learned was to prepare, have plans, have backup plans for how to get help if something should go wrong and you need it. Just an interesting thing to think about, particularly if you live alone. And even if you don't live alone, if you're home alone and something goes wrong, what's the plan? So we talked a couple of weeks ago about having an escape plan for fires, and that's another thing to think about. And particularly if we have, for example, many of us have grandchildren, and if your grandchildren come to visit you, they're not familiar with your house. They don't live there every day, and they're probably in a guest bedroom or something like that. What's the plan if there's a fire? Have you briefed your grandchildren on what they should do if they smell smoke, where they should go? If they're in an upstairs room, how can they get out of it? Uh, where's the meetup point going to be for everyone to meet up and check in on everybody? So planning to be able to take care of yourself in an emergency is something we need to probably spend, all of us, I think, probably need to spend a little more time thinking about. And I've been through it. Maybe you haven't. Maybe you've been lucky. But it only takes one time. And for those of you who want to know the rest of the story of how I dealt with my leg that night, it's a bit of a long story. Hi, Betty. Good morning. Good morning, Kelly. Kelly, good to see you. Good to see you. Any rate, that's all. It's a particularly difficult situation as we get older, that we have plans in place for what we're going to do, who we're going to call, where we're going to go, what we're going to do in the case of in case of an emergency. Something to think about. That's all I have for you today. It's worth thinking about, though. Hey, I hope you're going to have a wonderful day. Remember, be happy. The more happy you are, the more happy the universe can bring you. Betty, are you writing to me? I can't read it. I'm going to have to put my glass. You're going to force me to put my glasses on. Good morning, Kelly. Hello, good advice. Yeah, Betty, thank you. So, you folks have a wonderful day. And remember, be compassionate. The world needs a whole lot more of that. Cheers, Betty. Bye for now.